welcome once again to the weekly hangout. See, we already have a few people here. Wolf, Sky, Shadow, hi. Sorry if I butchered this. Rhiannon, hi. Good to see you as well. Oh man, Wolf. Maybe you should spend this time sleeping.
Hello, everyone.
I keep forgetting to do that. I keep thinking I do. But no, Wolf, you need to go to sleep. Alright, have we brought any topics for a discussion, or are we just going to wing it again? I mean, winging it's good for us. We seem to have some luck with that. Checking chat down here because my phone seems to be more updated than my computer one. Okay. Cool. Okay, so seeing if anybody else. I'm good, Sky. How are you doing? Seeing you active a little bit in the Discord. Sorry, I'm not. I try, but then, you know, life gets in the way. Baby comes over to watch or see what I'm doing, and that usually ends up in a fight for my phone, and I just don't feel like fighting for my phone. Oh, Ree, that's so sweet and a little heartbreaking. You don't. I mean, I'm glad you watch my videos, but I'm sorry you do it when you're sad. Wing it. Okay, so I guess we're gonna wing it. So been giving some thought, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. I know I posted this on the YouTube to have a vote, but the audio fan fiction idea. So I'm actually really nervous to even suggest this, but would any of you be interested in hearing at least a chapter from one of my fan fictions read today? I'll use this to kind of gauge whether or not it would be something I want to do in the future down the line if I wanted to continue to do it. Okay, Sky, you gotta tell us, what did you have? Did you have a boy and a girl? Did you have 2 boys? Did you have 2 girls? And you can tell us the names if you want. You can keep that completely private, but we're very happy for you. Congratulations again on your successful delivery of twins. You are a strong person for doing that. Oh, well, that's good to hear too, Rhea. I'm glad it's happy and sad. So, Wolf, you'd be interested in hearing the chapter, okay? Would anybody else be? Yes. Okay, so Sky is also yes. Rhea, what do you think? Shadow, what do you think? I've got to get everybody to say yes for me to do this. I'm so nervous. Oh, you have 2 girls. Congratulations, Sky. That's wonderful. You're my girl. Just trying to get in. She's just tall enough to reach the doorknob. She's not quite coordinated enough to turn it. Which I guess is a good thing, because she likes to open doors dramatically when she can, and just she makes an entrance and you know it. Well, we hope your recovery is going well, Sky. I know that couldn't have been easy. Your girlfriend kept us up to date a little bit on the progress and everything, so we know it was kind of quick. We kind of know it was kind of quicker. Let's see it. We know it's kind of quick. We know it's kind of sudden, so we're glad that it was safe and speedy delivery, I guess is what I would say. Oh God, everybody say yes. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I put this out there on in the world all the time. Maybe it's because the only person I've ever read it to is my husband, and he has to say he likes it. He's the only person I've ever read it to. He liked it, but again, he has to say he liked it. Hi, Ira, glad to see you. Sorry that sucks your cell phone was dead, but I'm glad you were able to make it. So, I have put forth the suggestion that in order to gauge whether or not the audio fan fiction idea would be a good one, I would read a chapter of one of my fanfics. Everyone's saying do it. I am very nervous. I need everyone in chat to say yes for me to do it, and then I'll do it. Oh, Sky, that's fine. That's fine. Again, congratulations. I hope you're able to get some sleep and recover very quickly. But again, congratulations, Sky. We hope that you have a speedy recovery, and good luck. Good luck dealing with twin girls. I have one girl. It's challenging. But again, congratulations. We're very happy for you. And don't feel bad about having to leave stream to go take care of your kids. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I luckily have other people to distract my child right now, so I feel guilty, but I'll stick you around here for a little bit. Please do it. Thank you if you do. Okay, I'll do it. Need water, because this is thirsty work. And yes, I have a very old Mac as my primary source of writing. Everyone say yes. I'm worried for Aaron in your voice. Why are you worried for Aaron in my voice? I'm genuinely curious about this. I mean, if you don't want me to do voices, I won't do voices. It might be a little difficult since what I want to read is all in Levi's perspective. So, I don't know if I'm going to read the whole, everything in Levi's voice or just his speaking parts. I'm glad that your face lit up when you saw I was live. I'm assuming it means live, not alive. I'm assuming you knew I was alive. Yep. I've been reading Humanity's Greatest Moves, feeling really good as I was reading the first chapter that I read some before. Not sure why I didn't finish it. Oh, well. Are you... Oh, God, what was the name of that person? I'm assuming everybody has different names and stuff on different platforms. Not just, like me and stick with one. But there was someone that recently commented, which was really cool. Wondering if it's you, Wolf. See what's on chapter. It doesn't tell me what chapter it was left on. It was Absurd Audacity that left me a recent review. Shout out to them. Glad that you enjoyed the story. If that was you, Wolf, that's cool. If not, it's fine too. Alright, so let's see. Okay, I'm going to close Discord for now. And I'm going to bring up... Oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this. No, not you. Okay, that's fine, Wolf. Hi, Sasha. I'm glad to see you. And yes, I know Wolf is legit because I don't think I've mentioned, or I may have mentioned the title on here, but they at least know it's past one chapter, so that's good. It's at 31. I'm writing chapter 32 now, so don't even know what this story half the time. Like, it's fun to write. It's fun to do the different characters. Oh my god. I feel like I'm with Humanity's Greatest. I feel like I'm rewriting the whole story, and I'm like, this is just mine, right? This didn't happen in canon. I confuse my story in canon all the time. So what I'm planning on reading is not something I've published yet. It's something that I've, worked on because I watched Attack on Titan Junior High. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's on Hulu. It's phenomenal. It's hilarious. You'll die laughing like I did. So this is based on that. I couldn't get it out of my head. What would these characters be like in our world? What would they be like interacting in like real social situations without the threat of the Titans in the modern day, that kind of thing. And I was toying with it, and I'm like, we see Aaron's perspective so much. It's a roller coaster. That's a good way of putting that one. Yeah, Humanity's Greatest is a roller coaster. But with this one based in our world, I thought about it. I'm like, everything we read or see is primarily from Aaron's perspective. Like, I have nothing against that. Aaron is the protagonist. Yeah, it was the best horror episode. They get scared so bad they go back to their normal animation. You know it's scary then. That's how I sold my husband on watching the show with me. Was all I said was, we have to get to at least the horror episode. You'll love it. It'll die because they get scared so bad they go back to their normal animation. We watched it, and yes, he died laughing with me. So anyway, back onto this. I decided to write this from Levi's perspective because, again, we get a lot of Aaron, but we don't really see a lot of Levi's thoughts, feelings, any of that. So that's where this is from. This is why I'm like, do I need to read it all in Levi's voice? Or can I, at least for this initial reading, just kind of do general voices? I'll probably slip into the other voices as it goes on. But in general, I just want to get your reaction on whether you guys think I have a decent enough presence and voice to do this kind of thing. So I'm gonna drink some water real quick, get over my nerves, because I make YouTube videos. Why is this so difficult? Probably because I'm getting live reactions and I don't have to wait. Okay. So I've called this one Attack on Junior High. Play on the original with, its own implications that they're attacking junior high. They're getting through it. They're surviving it. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading. You guys can make comments. You guys can give suggestions. You guys can do whatever. If I don't read it right away, it's just... No. This one won't be... It won't be spoiled. It has nothing to do with the anime. Nothing to do with the anime at all. It was the inspiration for it. And I'm not going to give anything away. So this was just it was just inspired by it. Because again, I wanted to know what these characters would be like if we unleashed them in our world. And the result is very much what I expected, or at least to me. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, you guys can comment, give suggestions, whatever. Again, I just might not read it right away because I'll be down here. I'll try to make eye contact, but I don't know how well that's going to work. So we're going to go ahead and do this. This is Attack on Junior High, Chapter 1. Pre-algebra, biology, literature, I mutter as I look in my satchel at the various books I brought home with me. Each class assigned no less than 3 assignments for this week to go along with the normal homework load. Not to mention, I still need to assist Rico with restocking the cleaning supplies for the club and prepare tonight's dinner for Mom. I let out a sigh as I readjust the satchel strap. Just another week in a woefully boring life. Okay, Ree. Have a good day. Have a good night. Sleep well. I'm not sure what you're going to do, but have a good night. Glad you were able to make it, though. I let out a sigh as I readjust the satchel strap. Just another week in my woefully boring life. Let me go, I hear someone shout, and I look up to see 3 high school students from St. Cena's standing in the middle of the street. One that looks like a pig had a child with a tree is holding a small convenience store bag in one hand and a young boy in the other. The boy struggling in his grip and flailing his arms in an attempt to land a punch, but he's nowhere close enough to do any damage. I frown. Just my luck I'd run into trouble today. I've seen that guy before, tall as a tree, but fat enough to be considered a small whale, and I've seen him regularly pick on students from St. Rose's Junior High. If I don't see something soon, the kid's as good as dead. Quickly, I discard my satchel and start running. I really shouldn't be doing this. I've lectured my friends time and again about doing this kind of shit, but I'm not about to let that brat get hurt. Not if I have anything to say about it. I spy a stack of plastic curtains against a nearby brick fence and run towards them effortlessly, hop from one carton to the next. I jump onto the fence and sprint towards Pigtree and the brat, counting down the seconds he has left before something drastic and regrettable happens. It won't be pretty, and I'd have failed. I'm not going to fail. My foot hits the ledge, and I use all of my energy to propel myself straight into the air. It's enough to send me sailing, and I immediately start to spin as I kick my foot out, aiming for Pigtree's gut. My foot makes contact, and he immediately drops to the ground, letting go of the brat and the plastic bag in the process. I effortlessly land a couple of feet in front of him. The hell was that? Groans Pigtree as he comes to his senses. He's sprawled on the ground, and his friends, a boy with a wispy beard and another covered in thick acne, are staring wide-eyed at me. The pig lifts his head and growls audibly when he sees me. You again. I thought I told you to screw off. No, that's what I told you, I sneer as I observe the kid's greasy face. It looks oilier than a bad piece of pizza. As I recall, you were tormenting a little blonde girl and her girlfriend, and you ended up in a similar position then. Pigtree struggles to his feet, nearly falling over twice. He points a sausage finger at me, and would have looked threatening if he weren't red in the face and panting hard. You'll regret this, midget. I let the insult roll off my shoulders. It wouldn't do to maim the fool in front of witnesses. Still, I make a note for later. I already do. Now get the hell out of here, and don't let me catch you around these kids again. Side note, there's a lot of F-bombs because it's Levi, but I'm not going to read them because I am not sure how YouTube feels about that. So we're just going to keep going with improvised words. Pigtree looks like he's ready to fight me, like he has a chance, but his 2 friends are apparently smarter than him and drag him away. He screams profanities that would have made my uncle laugh from their simplicity. No one knows what swearing really is until they've listened to a Kenny Ackerman rant. Finally, I turn around and look at the brat I just saved. His school uniform, St. Rose's, is covered in dry dirt and small cuts. His chocolate brown hair is disheveled, and his tan skin is covered with the same dirt as his uniform. A girl with black hair, and also in a St. Rose's uniform, is holding him and the bag tightly, and I frown when I see her. I know her, and she knows me, and we don't like each other. Not even a little bit. She's my baby cousin Mikasa, and I'm more than a little surprised that she let her boyfriend get caught up with those dumbasses. Oh, my picture. Yeah, and Rhea, I'm glad you were able to stay. Hey, you two, I say sternly. What the hell is going on here? The brat I saw being held by Pigtree is beaming at me and pushes away from Mikasa. His green eyes shine brightly in the afternoon sun, and in the right light could probably be consumed by gold light. I didn't know eyes like that exist. Hey, the brat says excitedly, where did you learn how to do that? Are you a member of a club that teaches fighting or something? Because that was amazing. I'm used to hearing something similar come from anyone who sees me fight or demonstrate in class, but this sounds more sincere? I glance at my cousin, and she's scowling at me like I have no right to talk to her friend. I look back at the boy, and he's smiling at me like I just walked on water or something. The boy looks familiar, but I can't place him. And yes, Levi Todoroki, I do want you to elaborate on your Attack on Titan D&D scheme. It was just a kick, I say with a shrug. Really, it's a little weird how enthusiastic he is about seeing someone kick someone else's ass. It's not like I really enjoyed doing it. It's just necessary sometimes. That wasn't just a kick, argues the boy stubbornly. That was a move straight out of an action movie. Now he's exaggerating. Look, I was just doing my good deed for the day. Don't read into it too much, I say flatly, but even that doesn't seem to faze him, and he continues to look at me like I'm a goddamn superhero. He's not the first person to call me that or look at me that way, but he's the first who seems to actually believe it. Why are you here anyway? Asks Mikasa as she comes up and holds the boy's arm against her chest in a possessive manner. The boy fights against her grip. I was headed home, Mikasa, I reply, and she appears skeptical. The boy turns to Mikasa, his eyes even wider. You know him? Mikasa frowns and nods. Unfortunately, he's my cousin. You never answered my question, I say flatly, and the boy's attention returns to me. What the hell happened here? We were going over to our friend Armin's house, explains the boy, whom I shall dub Ocean Eyes until otherwise decided. He hasn't been at school since the first week, and we wanted to check on him. I raise an eyebrow. He hasn't texted or called you or anything? Ocean Eyes shakes his head. No, Armin doesn't exactly like technology. He's a genius, but he's skeptical about relying too much on machines. I mean, he still writes letters to people instead of sending emails. His friend definitely seems strange, but then again, so does this boy. How nice of you, I say as I wipe my shoes against the pavement. Have you dealt with those morons before? Ocean Eyes nods. Yeah, they like to mess with most of the kids in my class. He then smirks and crosses his arms against his chest, almost taking a heroic stance. But I can handle them. I've sent them packing before. I glance at Mikasa, and by the way she's shaking her head, I know exactly whom is chasing the bullies away. You shouldn't just get into fights unless you can handle them. I lecture. I'll probably never see this kid again, but I'm not going to send him back into the world dumber than he already is, especially against people almost twice your size. But you did, he points out with a sly grin, and I frown as Mikasa giggles. I know how to handle myself, I snap, and he immediately jumps to attention like a well-trained soldier, or a terrified puppy. I'm leaning towards puppy. You, on the other hand, are greener than the big-ass trees around here. Learn to defend yourself, and then you can make comments about my height and who I get involved with. Everyone gets one short joke and one warning. After that, their ass is mine. Suddenly, my phone starts going off, and I turn away from the two first years. I frown and pull it out of my pocket. I roll my eyes when I see my uncle's name. What do you want, old man? I ask as I start walking back towards where I left my satchel. You're late, kid. Where the hell are you? I ran into a slight problem on the way home, I reply, glancing over my shoulder at Ocean Eyes and Mikasa. I'm a little surprised that Ocean Eyes' gaze is still on me. When the boy sees me looking, he waves and I raise my hand up in farewell. Had to help a classmate out. Fine, just hurry up and get home. I've got work in 15 minutes and I'm not about to be late because you were a good Samaritan. I roll my eyes again. Not everyone can be an asshole like you, Kenny. Kenny laughs. You get ballsier every day, kid. Love ya. You too, I say as I hang up and put my phone away before hoisting my satchel back onto my shoulder. I turn around to start on the way home when I nearly run into something. Stopping just short of colliding with it, I realize it's actually a someone. It's Ocean Eyes. Of course it is. Hi again, he says kindly, and he holds out a can of cherry soda in a sphere wrapped in tinfoil. Here, as a thank you for saving my ass back there. I look at his offering and then at his eager expression. Something tells me that if I accept these gifts, it'll be like accepting this brat into my life, and I'm not sure I want to do that. He seems nice enough, but he also seems like he has the potential of being a royal pain in my ass. Still, he didn't even have to thank me, and he did. It would be rude to turn down the gesture. Thanks, I say as I take the soda and, surprisingly warm ball of tinfoil. Were these for your friend? Some of them, replies Ocean Eyes with a bright smile. We bought as much as we could because we aren't sure how hungry Armin's going to be so there's plenty to spare. What is it? A cabbage burger, Ocean Eyes declares happily. It's a mixture of cabbage and beef stuffed in a roll. It's fantastic. I'm a little skeptical. Still, I put it in my satchel along with the soda, praying that it doesn't explode in my bag and soak my books. So you go to St. Rose too, says Ocean Eyes, his eyes lingering on the crest on my uniform, the same uniform he's wearing, albeit a little cleaner. Are you a second year or third? I haven't seen you in any of the first year classes. Third, I reply, adjusting my collar. You're in first, right? Mikasa is, so I assume that you are too if you're her boyfriend. Ocean Eyes makes a disgusted face. She's not my girlfriend. I don't even like her like that. I smirk. Well, she likes you like that. Understatement of the century, if my intuition is correct. Don't remind me, huffs Ocean Eyes, frowning slightly before he perks up. Thanks again for helping me out back there. The 12-year-old then holds out his hand. I'm assuming he's 12 if he's in the same grade as Mikasa. I'm Aaron, by the way. Levi, I say, shaking his hand. Stay out of trouble, Brad. I won't always be around to save your ass. Aaron chuckles as we let our hands go. We'll see about that. See you around school, Levi. I watch as he goes running off towards Mikasa, who's glaring openly at me. I hardly care. She's been like that for as long as I can remember, and I don't expect her to change just because I helped out her crush. I send a smirk her way, and she scowls at me before possessively dragging Ocean Eyes towards a nearby apartment complex. He's yelling at her and trying to untangle himself from his grip, and all I can say is, good luck, Brad. Somehow, he looks over and he sees me again. He gives me another smile, and to my great surprise, I give one in return. When I finally arrive home, Kenny's still there, lounging around in the living room with the television on some crappy show he watches religiously every week. Our DVR is full of crap he's recorded, and he refuses to delete any of it until the device prevents him from recording more. Honestly, how can a guy who easily works 50 hours a week have time to keep up with so much television? Hey, Levi, he says as I hang up my uniform jacket and satchel by the front door. Slip off my shoes and head to the kitchen with the food I was given earlier. How was school? Same as always, I reply. I'll probably eat the cabbage burger for dinner. I don't think it would fare too well if I let it sit anyway. I put it in the microwave to keep it a little warm. Why are you still here? You were chewing my ass for making you late, and I find you watching bullshit. Kenny chuckles, and I hear him turn off the television. You know damn well I can't give your mother a proper report on your well-being if I haven't seen you. I hear him come into the kitchen. So, who's this mysterious classmate you were helping earlier? I bite back a sigh as I gather up ingredients for Mom's dinner and preheat the oven. Some friend of Mikas's named Aaron. He ran into some shitheads from St. Cena's, and I helped him out. You saw Mikasa? He asks, and I roll my eyes. Of course, that's what he fixates on. Yeah, she was there, I say as I grab some knives and bowls. I think I'll make meatloaf tonight. It's pretty easy, and Mom can take it in for lunch or eat it again for dinner. And her friend's name is Aaron, continues Kenny, completely ignoring the entire point of my story. Yes, Aaron, I parrot back, and as I begin preparing the meatloaf. Kenny hums thoughtfully behind me. I wonder if he's Doc Yeager's kid. Silas told me that Mikas has gotten pretty close with his kid since she transferred to St. Rose's. Walden might be a large city with several districts, but you can't go anywhere without hearing someone mention Dr. Grisha Yeager, the city's golden boy, or his wife, Dr. Carla Yeager. Grisha Yeager is a world-renowned physician, and his wife is a greatly respected psychiatrist. I myself have never had the pleasure of meeting either, but that's hardly surprising. It's almost impossible to get an appointment with either of them, for obvious reasons. It's always possible, I say with a shrug as I start chopping up the onion. Mom hates big chunks of onion. It gives her really bad breath, she says. Anyway, you should get your ass out of here before Yuri comes looking for you. I'm not covering for you again. Kenny lets out a loud laugh and claps me on the back. Calm down, kid. I'm leaving. Besides, Hans is at the top of Yuri's shit list at the moment, so I have some breathing room. What did he do now? I ask, knowing all about my uncle's co-worker and the type of trouble he gets himself into. Caught at the dog races while on duty, replies Kenny as he helps himself to something in the fridge. He comes out with the last piece of lasagna, and I decide to just let him take it. I already have my dinner settled. I told him not to do it until he was sure Yuri was in the office. The dumbass never listens to me. If your schemes worked half as well as you claim, you wouldn't ever have been on Yuri's shit list. I counter and he laughs again. Honestly, how many times have you been caught doing something stupid? More than what's on my record, replies my uncle with a wry grin as he combs his fingers through his long black hair. It still amazes me that he can be a police officer and have hair that goes past his collar. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, kid. Let me know if you need anything, and make sure you send your mom a text. Yes, now get out of here, old man, I say dismissively. And then suddenly something is smashing into my head, and I tense up as Kenny's hand messes up my hair, and it's in his usual enthusiastic goodbye. So bossy, comments Kenny as he removes his hand from my head, and I use the back of my hand to try to fix it, scowling at him in the process. Bye, Levi. Bye, I say tersely, and I let out a sigh of relief when I hear the front door close. I love the guy, I really do, but he can be so freaking annoying at times. I continue to prepare my mom's dinner, adding the diced onion to the ground beef and mixing into the mixing bowl before reaching for the green bell pepper. She loves these things, and I try to add them to as many dishes as humanly possible. Just as I begin dicing, my phone goes off, and I pause long enough to take it out and put the person on speaker. Levi, you there? Asks my friend Hanji. Yeah, just cooking. You're on speaker, I say as I resume chopping. What can I help you with, Four Eyes? Don't tell me you're already having trouble with the literature assignment. Hanji laughs. No, nothing like that. I was just wondering if you were going to come to band practice tonight. Of course she's calling about that. This past summer, Hanji, Mike, and I bullshitted around in Hanji's garage with some instruments her older brother left behind before he went off to university. Hanji played the bass, Mike took the drums, and I sang and played the electric guitar. It was just something we did to pass the time, but ever since, Hanji's been convinced we started a band and has been trying to get us to hold regular practices. I think she's off her rocker, but she's persistent. Hanji, you know I can't. I have way too much homework to even think about music. Hanji lets out a high-pitched whine. Please, Levi, Mike's already here. We need you, Levi. We need our main attraction. I snort. A 4'8" third year is hardly what I'd call a main attraction, Four Eyes. Why don't you just ask Gunther, or Olo, or Eld, or even Petra? I'm sure they'd be thrilled to be in your band. Because they aren't you, she argues, and I sigh. She's not going to stop until I either tell her to screw off or I cave. Levi, come on, we can always work on our homework together over here. My parents are home, so we can always ask them for help if we need it. Please, will you come over? I look at the half-prepared meatloaf. If I finish it now and get in the oven, I can eat and get started on some of my homework before I need to catch the bus over to Hanji's. I have enough money for the fare there and back, and Mom and Kenny won't be in until late anyway. Not to mention Hanji's going to keep bugging me until I finally crack. Fine, I say with a resigned sigh. I'll be over in an hour. Just make sure you've gotten started on your homework by then, and I don't want to hear another word about how I'm a stick in the mud ever again. Hanji lets out a loud squeal, and I have to press my hands over my ears, knife and all, to keep my eardrums from popping. Once she calms down, I wonder how my phone's speakers even survived the assault. You're the best, Levi, she says happily. I'll see you in an hour. Don't be late. Bye. She then hangs up, and I question why I was ever nice to her back in preschool. Levi, it's so nice to see you, says Mrs. Hanji as she opens the door to her home. I smile briefly at her and slip off my shoes and hang up my jacket. Zoe and Mike are in the garage. I'll have some snacks out to you in a few minutes, all right? I've already eaten, so don't trouble yourself, Mrs. Hanji, I say politely, and she simply waves off my words. Really, I don't need anything. I'm making cookies, and no one can say no to my cookies, she says with a smile as she ushers me through the house and towards the garage as if I couldn't find it myself. She does this all the time, guiding people through her home so they don't accidentally touch or break any of the expensive artifacts she and her husband have displayed throughout. I'm used to it, but she really should know by this point I'm not a reckless kid. I guess you have a point, I agree with a shrug. I don't really care for her cookies. Her brownies are better, but still, it's better than anything Mom tries to make. My mom's homemade baked goods usually involve a trip to the supermarket. Are they those mint chocolate chip cookies you've been working on? Mrs. Hanji nods, her bright brown eyes sparkling like Hanji's whenever she's working on something of interest. I think I've finally figured out the ratio of mint leaves to chocolate chips, so they should taste fairly balanced, she says as we head through the dining room, which is decorated in ancient Greek decor. I really wish I was kidding. Maybe Zoe will finally like them. Yeah, maybe, I mumble silently, wondering why Hanji's mom puts herself through this hell just to appease Hanji. Doesn't she realize that Hanji will just like them regardless? We arrive at the garage and she opens it for me and I step inside, finding it just as I last saw it, immaculately clean despite the mess that is Hanji. Said mess is currently slumped over in her self-proclaimed, eternally dibsed armchair with a book in one hand and a highlighter in the other. Mike is sitting in Hanji's brother's bungee cord seat with his nose buried in a history text. I take a seat on the old but incredibly comfortable sofa, putting my satchel on the table in front of me and deliberately slamming it in order to gain their attention. Levi, says Hanji as she drops her book and marker in surprise. I glare at the offending mess and she quickly cleans it up, even ensuring that no highlighter fluid marks the carpet. I didn't even hear the door open. That's hardly a surprise, I say as Mike nods at me and I at him. How much work have you gotten done? Half of my pre-algebra homework, replies Hanji as she stretches out her legs. I got bored, so I switched over to lit and got lost. She twirls the marker. That's why I'm highlighting passages. I frown. You know we have to turn in those books at the end of the year, right? Those aren't ours to keep. I snatch the book and flip through, silently groaning when I see the pages completely soaked in neon yellow ink. You should have done it in pencil, you idiot. You've completely ruined the book. Hanji takes the book back and looks through it as well. I can still read it, so what's the big deal? I try not to lash out. She means well, she really does, but she can be so dense sometimes. Nothing. Forget I said anything, I say as I pull out my textbooks. So are we going to practice or do homework? Homework, says Hanji with a firm nod, and for once, we agree on something. Have you eaten, by the way? I didn't see you come in with anything from my mom. I ate before I came over, I say as I open my biology book. What did you have? Hanji asks curiously. She leans over and rests her elbows on the head of the arm of the sofa. Cabbage burger from the bakery in the Shingashina district, replies Mike without even looking up. His sense of smell is incredible and creepy. I blame his overly large nose. Hanji stares at me with wide eyes. Why'd you get that? I didn't think you liked cabbage. Some brat gave it to me, I say tersely. I saved him from getting his ass kicked by some high school assholes, and he gave me food as a thank you. Mike looks at Pigtree and his cronies again. I nod. Yeah, they're starting to become real pains in the ass. What kind of people enjoy beating up first years? Makes me sick. Who's this brat, Levi? Asks Hanji, poking my shoulder. Was it that sweet little blonde girl again, or was it Petra? Neither, I say as I open my book to the assigned reading passage. Some kid named Aaron, and I know as soon as the words leave my mouth, I shouldn't have said anything. You don't mean Aaron Yeager, do you? Asks Hanji, poking me again. I shrug. I don't know. He just said his name's Aaron. He goes to our school. Yep, that's him, says Hanji loudly in my ear. You saved Dr. Yeager's son. I shrug again. Big deal. I'll probably never see the brat again, and so it hardly matters who he is. Can we please just get back to our homework? We've wasted enough time on this topic already. Yeah, but I changed that to Zoe Hanji just because that made more sense in my head. So, we'll see. I just keep it that way. I think you've noticed that in Humanity's Greatest. I don't know. The last name Zoe just didn't make sense to me. Her last name being Hanji and her first name being Zoe made more sense to me. A strange look passes over Hanji's face. My, Levi, you're awfully defensive. She then reaches up and pinches my ears. And you're blushing. I smack her hand away. I am not. A creepy smile pulls at Hanji's lips. You are, though. I can see it plain as day. It's so nice that you're so pale, Levi. Otherwise, I'd have never known you're in love. In love? I repeat incredulously. I'm not in love with Aaron Yeager. I don't even know the brat. I just prevented him from becoming roadkill. That's the extent of our relationship. That's all it will ever be until the end of time. Hanji clicks her tongue and sits back in her chair. You can fool yourself, Levi, but you can't fool me. Whatever the hell that means. And that is the end of chapter 1. So, that's feelings, suggestions, criticisms, all of it. Go ahead and give it to me. I will sit in it. And yes, if I were to record this, I would read it much slower. But I just kind of wanted to get it done. I mean, if nobody has any thoughts or suggestions or anything, we can just move on to the next topic. Did I really spell it that way? Oh, God. I'm going to have to go back and edit now. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Wolf. I don't know if I'm going to be publishing it anytime soon, but I enjoyed it. It's just one of those where I didn't feel like I was giving way too much. One of my more experimental fics, I guess. Hanji's correct. Hanji is correct. So Hanji's correct. It's all correct. It's just Hanji. I can appreciate that. Sorry if that noise was weird. I was playing with a keychain. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to have to go back and fix it. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Ira. Again, I'm just going to go back and fix it. I'm going to get paranoid now. I thought I was spelling it right. I guess not. Tam. Okay. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Gotta love Levi. Yeah, I figured his inner monologue would be very different from what we're used to with, like, Aaron. And how he's, like, you know. I don't know. I feel like Levi would be very straightforward and thoughtful. In a way, like, he would have little mental side notes and stuff for himself of why he does certain things. I don't know why. That just is what popped in my head. But I'm glad you guys liked it. So should I? Oh no, it's okay. No, it's fine. I'm very hard on myself when it comes to my writing, so it's okay. I'm just actually doing something. Hanji. I wasn't going for formal etiquette. I'm just going for, Hanji sounds more like a last name. Zoe sounds more like a first name. Let's just reverse that and make her name Zoe Hanji. not allowed to be sorry, but you can't undo this mess that is me, and I say sorry for everything. Just, unfortunately, a learned behavior I cannot bring myself to unlearn. It's something I cannot do. Trust me, people have tried to help me point it out, all that good stuff. It doesn't work. It's a reflex. It's just like how some people just say in the middle of their sentences, or is a space holder for thoughts. I'm sorry is mine. It's mine for a lot. Sorry, keychain. Apparently they have these, what are they called? Gacha machines that are Japanese vending machines. They have them at like GameStop and everything now. So we got a couple. Oh, you have the same problem, Wolf? It's so much fun, right? All right, let's hear it. I've been wanting to discuss this too. I'm curious as to why you picked those certain classes for those certain people. Because personally, for me, I probably put Hanji as the DM. Just because. Yes! I've done that too. I had someone in a physics class. I had someone in my physics lab tell me, if I say sorry one more time, she's gonna snap. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. She like only looked at me like, are you serious right now? I was just like, yes, I'm sorry. I'm very serious about that. My cell phone is so crazy, and I'm worried for... You're worried for Aaron in my video. Well, I can at least tell you I've already made the second part, so you're not gonna have to wait too much longer. It's just a matter of when I decide to post it, because I think for this week I'm gonna do like a little bloopers video, because I have a few bloopers that you guys will probably just be like, why is this funny? Why does she think that this is funny? Or why does she think these are bloopers? And I'll be like, well, you try to be me and as these characters and tell me that you wouldn't have a hard time saying some of this stuff as that character. You're quite proud of the choices you made. Well, yeah, I think they were pretty good. I just wanted to know why. I like to hear explanations and thinking. Question, was that story Attack on Titan? Yes, I call it Attack on Junior High because I feel like that was a better title. But yes, that's basically what it is. My version of events. No Titans, real world. Certain things are different, like Levi's mom is still alive. Kenny is part of his life. I mean, Mikasa and he don't get along because of a feud between the sisters, between Kucho and... If you haven't read Humanity's Greatest, which is my other canonverse Attack on Titan story, Kylea is what I named Mikasa's mom. Because I thought, I don't know, that name resonated with me for her. But, so Kucho and Kylea have had a feud over some choices and decisions that were made in the past, and Mikasa and Levi just were never raised together. They don't really know each other. Mikasa just doesn't like Levi, and Levi doesn't like Mikasa. And then, Aaron gets thrown into the mix of all that and completely upends Levi's life, just like normal. So, that's my take. I was thinking of making a bigger series where it explores when do Mikasa and Levi ever get on to begin with? That's a very good point. I feel like later on they at least respect each other enough to... Oh god. They respect each other enough to tolerate their existence, so that's about as far as it gets. I'll probably watch the bloopers and end up Wolf Creek laughing, essentially, as my sister. That's funny. Okay. Okay, just a reminder, the list in classes. Erwin, Paladin, obvious. Levi, Rogue. Surprising. Hanji, I don't know, Artificer, something like that. I don't know how to say it, but it makes sense. Arian, Sorcerer. That one's a little different, but I could see it with the shape-shifting. Mikasa, Ranger, and Armin, Bard. Yeah. I can see Armin as a bard, except for the reputation bards had. I don't see Armin doing that, but I might be wrong. Mikasa as a ranger is a very interesting choice too, but I think the one that sticks out the most to me is Aaron as a sorcerer. The only thing I can think of with that one is it because he would transform, or is it something completely unrelated that I don't even know about? I'm not very well versed in D&D. I know basics and stuff. I know enough to play, but not enough to surefire. I could be a DM. No, not even close. But for me, if I were writing that, it would be Hanji would be the DM because she's just psychotic enough. I could see Levi being a rogue or an assassin, primarily assassin. Sasha would be an archer, just because she's good with probably hunter class, I guess. Connie. Connie might be a bard. Yeah, no, you're fine. Like I said, I know basics and not enough to class or DM anybody, but I know basics enough. Mikasa, I could see being a paladin or some kind of fighter class. Aaron, I could see being a tank. Just like a glass cannon, he's super buff and can run at anything and have really powerful attacks. But the second magic is cast on him or something, he's just useless. Completely useless. I could see that. Armin, I like the bard idea for Armin. I could see Connie being a bard too. John, I could definitely see being a paladin because, wants to uphold virtues and valor. Maybe a wizard just because he likes things easy. I don't know. Just that whole idea of him being in the military police because he wanted an easier life. I could see him being a wizard for that. You don't know about D&D. Oh. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, everybody knows the basics of D&D. Not everybody knows the specifics like some people. Like my husband and his group. Oh my god, they could rattle off all sorts of facts and knowledge about D&D, and I'm just sitting there going, that sounds awesome. Tell me in ways I'll know. Explain it to me in dumb person lingo. Okay, Erwin Paladin, keeping in mind he is the commander and record holder of paperwork on the desk. Just Paladin because he has a sacred oath of ensuring his core makes out. I can agree with that. Yep, that completely works. Okay. Sorry, so it's really dry from reading. But yeah, I can definitely see that with Erwin. He does seem to make it his top priority. He takes it very personally if none of it if they take too heavy casualties. So I could see that. I don't know. Maybe turn that into an oath though, to a god or something. Maybe, I don't know. But it's a very interesting thought process. What else have we got? What about everybody else? If you play basic RPGs, you can just say who you think would be in what class and why. That works too. We don't have to go specifically D&D. Basic RPGs works too. Rogue, fighter, mage, that kind of thing. Levi is a scoundrel. Even though he's stealth check to bring down his enemies. I'm looking at it, he took Titans down. Well, and Kenny. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. I could see him running his own freaking Thieves Guild, honestly. Now that you mention that. Yeah. Thieves Guild. Levi would run a Thieves Guild. Isabel and Farland would be there too. no, I'm not writing this. I'm not gonna write this. Armin voiceover says Aaron 100 times. What? Mikasa says Aaron 63 times. 9 times. 13 times. 5 times. We're not doing a drinking game to this. You have just laid that down. No drinking game to who says whose name's more. We'd all be dead. We'd all be dead. And that's in season 1. No. Oh no. Nope. I tap now. We're not playing this game. We're not gonna do this game. If you wanna do the the Attack on Titan name challenge, you might have a death wish. We might call you the suicidal bastard. You might take on Aaron's nickname on that one, yeah. Just, yeah. 100 times. What? That's crazy. That's just crazy. That one I can't get over. I'm aware, but I said it. No. You're right. I just am putting that preface out there now that no one needs to play that game unless they really, really just don't want to be on this planet anymore. Is D&D like Harry Potter? So D&D is like the original RPG where you choose a class, you choose a specialization, and you go off on adventures that someone called the DM or Dungeon Master creates. They have basic plots. Some are very intricate and can take up to 5 to 10 years to do, I've heard. So that's the basics. It's just an adventure game. And for some reason, I was just like, how would the Attack on Titan characters do? Like, what would they pick and why? And yeah, it's just something I posted to YouTube because it was bothering me. Because I'm like, I can't be the only one that's thought of this. I can't have just looked at these characters and gone, well, what would they pick in if they were playing D&D? And I think partially that was influenced by Matt Mercer, who plays Levi, being a DM. I think that was slightly spurred on by it. Yeah, I think that was spurred on by that because I'm like, would Levi be a DM or would he be a player? Because I feel like Hanji would be a really good DM just because her absurd and crazy ideas would make for a very interesting campaign. Okay, Hanji, the artificer. Let's face it, he can be invented. Hanji will invent it. Yes. Even if it shouldn't exist, I feel she would somehow will it into existence. And as a scientist, which would be her magic skill, she would find out a lot more about... Yeah, I agree. She would be... Yes. 100% agree on that one. Okay. Queen did say last week she was... Yes, no. I'm not saying she was wrong for doing that. I'm just saying... I was just trying to preface in case people were like, oh, she's encouraging a drinking game where we can kill ourselves. No. We were doing it out of curiosity. This was for science. Do not experiment. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Do not experiment with that one. I was just saying if you decided to, you don't want to be on this planet anymore, and we would dub you the suicidal bastard for eternity because... Why would you do that? They're better. Like, don't do that. Just don't do that. I'm not going to say there are better ways to that. No, I mean there are smarter ways, in a sense, I guess. But drinking yourself to death is not a good idea in any respect, and least of all a drinking game that we were just creating because we were curious. And I try and keep the same. No, you're good, Queen. You're a good Queen. I was just, like I said, making sure no one else gets the bright idea to do it. Like, I know there are people who would be dumb enough to try. That's why we have disclaimers on a lot of things. So you're just checking to see if people are... spellcaster who draws on inherent magic from a gift or bloodline, so Aaron being subjected to... Okay! That makes a lot of sense. Hey, it's Ash. Can't stay grounded. Salty dinosaurs love strawberries. Is this another... Multiple. Okay, no, I agree with you. Levi. Speaking of science, can I do a hypothesis of the show due to what Henry said she caught Sonny B? Yes, absolutely. Go right ahead. What about an Omegaverse? Okay. I have read several Omegaverse Attack on Titan stories. Whether they stem from the canonverse or not. And I personally cannot bring myself to write one. I enjoy reading them. They're great. They're a guilty pleasure. But I've tried. And I just end up not... I don't stick true to the whole Omegaverse of, oh, you're finding your soulmate and love and having babies with... No, I go political and all sorts of other social experiment crap in it. And I'm like, no one will enjoy reading this. They'll see Omegaverse and think, oh my gosh, it's going to be smut and babies and all sorts of other things. No, not even remotely close to what I write. I can bring myself to write, fluff occasionally, but I need something to ground it. I need why is there this fluff? I can't just write fluff. It has to be rooted in something like terrible or dramatic or whatever to make you relieved that there's fluff. So I just can't write Omegaverse because it's a lot of fluff. Yes, there are some where there's plot and there's circumstances and stuff like that. I don't find those often. And then sometimes it just revolves around. Yes, Ash. You keep changing your name. Yes, she did have the babies, and she had 2 little girls. She was in here earlier, but she had to leave, and Sasha looks like she left too. I thought maybe she just went quiet when I started reading, but yeah, she looks like they're gone having a good time with their babies. A warrior and Mikasa the Ranger. A warrior who lives to fight on the edge of civilization, and with Mikasa's interaction with Levi, Ranger. Okay, it makes sense. Era, yeah, the same way. Yeah. I like Omegaverse. It's a guilty pleasure, but it's something I can write, and not even close. I need grit and action and reason. Alright, and for our small precious little Armin, I can't wait to see this one. You're about to tell me that Armin is a lot, not as green as he comes across. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised. But God, give the boy a better haircut. First he goes from looking like Prince Valiant, if any of you know that reference. But I mean, he looks like some kind of medieval dork. To then some kind of bowl cut. I guess he got tired of it and just told me, because I put a bowl on, take your blade and just cut. I'm not a fan of his art style. He looks very weird lately. Oh, and while we are waiting on that, I just wanted to let you guys know that I did end up getting my... What about Levi and D&D? So, Levi and D&D, we've already... Have we mentioned Levi already? Because I think we did. Rogue, yeah, so, because he was a thief, and he liked to rely on shadows and everything. Okay, I mean, if you want to lurk, Ash, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Glad you were able to at least drop in on stream for a little bit. What about Levi? Yeah, they said he was everybody said he was a thief. I personally think he could be a rogue. Definitely one with dual blades, because that's his thing. And right now I'm using Dragon Age logic, because that's all I know. I think that's really all I know. Um, but yeah, I think Levi would definitely be in the thief class, and he would definitely use dual blades and the shadows to his advantage. Of course, with his height, it would be a true advantage. What I was going to say? Oh, yeah. So I did end up getting a P.O. box today. I'm not going to release it here. I might not a comment, but a post later or in the Discord. Definitely in the Discord. But I did end up getting a P.O. box today, so that's a good thing. That's a win. I cannot tell you how I work from 9 a.m. till 6:30, so okay. Yeah, you can tell us about Armin when you get back. I just have a difficult time finding time to do anything, so today I had an hour, and they had an hour left before they closed for Saturday, so I was able to go in, get my P.O. box, and go. And like I said, I'll probably be posting that in a post later or in Discord. But definitely Discord for sure. So if you're not already a member of our Discord, if someone wants to try to drop the link for the Discord, go right ahead. I did drop it in the video last week. I'm not sure if it's still good, but I can drop it again in comments here. And it'll be good, I think, for another week or so. But, yeah. If you want to find out how to send me fan mail or whatever, just check the Discord for sure, and maybe I'll post it once a week for like an hour on YouTube because I don't want it to get out to too many people. Just because I don't want weird non-fans to find it and then try random I don't know. I feel like that opens up the door for a lot. Like this is already opening up a door, but I want to try to control the chaos as much as humanly possible. I'm trying to see if anybody's commented. Nope. Okay. Okay, yeah. I guess. The delay between the two is like a good 10 seconds, so. I feel like you chose those for very specific personal reasons. I'm right here to read this, sorry. You saying about Twisted Wonderland? I've heard of it, I think. I'm not sure if it's the same one I'm thinking of. Because I hear Twisted Wonderland and I think two things. Either like really demented Alice in Wonderland or Dead Man Wonderland. Which is like the same thing. Because they have an Alice character, but not the same thing. So why don't you give me a rundown of what it is, Ira, so we can be on the same page. And if I'm thinking of something completely different, I can find out what you're talking about and then at least be able to engage in conversation with it a little. I know about Twist and Shout. And if that triggered anybody, I'm sorry. If you remember the Supernatural fandom, it probably did. And if not, then you need to read it. I mean, I read half of it, and then I figured out what the rest of it was going to be without really reading it. I found out I was right. I don't know. It was a good read. It was very good, but very predictable if you know the history of the time period they're writing about. It was very well done. Phenomenal. But again, once I figured it out, I was just like, I already know what it is, so no. Okay, let's see. Armin would be the magician that inspire people. He is the core strategist, and he would be the... Okay, yeah, no, you are right. That's my party six. That's perfect. It's great. Very balanced. Okay. Hanji once says, once upon a time, many centuries ago, there now lived a vicious tribe of cannibals. She caught Sonny and Bean in the Area 50, according to the net. Chikatilo lived from... After our time or before our time? Because they take place in the 800s, and I don't know though. Is it like 800 BC? Because the first episode is called "To You 2,000 Years in the Future." So maybe it does take place at a point in our time, and it's addressed to us later. Hello, friendly. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Welcome to our lovely discussions of all things random. Feel free to join in. We were just discussing what classes we think the different Attack on Titan characters would be in D&D. We're discussing a hypothesis that Queen, or Wolf, as we call her too, came up with regarding when Attack on Titan happens, if it happens during our time periods or not. So feel free to join in. I'm good. How are you doing? But yeah, you might be right, Wolf. I mean, it would be really interesting if it did. And, you know, they used the coordinate to make us forget. But then, of course, I'm always of the theory that, and this comes completely from Justice League, that different versions of characters and people exist in different universes. Like, I like the idea of the multiverse. And the reason we have stories and we have books and we have all these different ideas is because we're picking it up from different multiverses and writing about it. No, you're right, Wolf. I completely agree. And I'm sorry, just explaining why I think you're probably right. It's because we pick up these ideas from these different multiverses and write about them. And there's very few times when, like, the wavelengths of each universe are very much in sync with each other, and that's when we get those connections, or when they can cross over. So I think Attack on Titan probably did happen in our timeline, because she does reference people she shouldn't know about. You should make it a series weekly hangout randomness there. That is a school sunlight. Okay, that sounds really cool. Actually, sounds like it's a Snow White and Seven Dwarfs spinoff. Which reminds me, I'm actually watching a new anime. It's Snow White with the red hair or something like that. I started it. I'm like on episode 6. It's really good. Like, you have to get over the annoying part of they're all trying to kidnap her for her hair. But I mean, once you get over that, and how often that happens, it's really good and awesome, and like one of my favorite. Honestly, a new favorite now. It's really good. Yes. But so much randomness. Snow White with red hair. Is that what it's called? Well, I mean, it's very Snow White-esque in the fact that they give her a poisoned apple at the beginning. But I like the fact she's an herbalist and can counter it. She's awesome. I'm sorry, she's Shirayuki is her name. She's so freaking cool. I expect there to be a proper proposal between Levi and Aaron if I could demand it. I do not negotiate. I do not meet demands. You will accept what I give, and you will enjoy it, or you will not. I will not cater. I will say there will be a video where a proposal does happen, but I'm not gonna say where or when. Game is only in Japan. Oh. Yeah, Japan gets all the cool stuff. Or they make all the cool stuff. And we're just lucky to get something. Yeah, that makes sense. I started watching that a few years ago, but never finished it. I love these randomness hangouts. I do too. It's a good way to unwind. It's a good way to just relax and to commiserate with fellow otakus, fellow weebs, whatever we want to call ourselves. It's called Snow White with Red Hair. Okay, good. I'm like, I thought that's what it was called. They make a deal about her red hair. They have a lot of Snow White references, but I wasn't sure if that was in the title or not. It's so good. So sweet. It's gonna be hell for me to watch because I'm one of those where I'm like, if I see that two characters like each other and then they just get over it and get together, I'm just gonna be sitting there cheering for that the whole time. I get mad at the obstacles because I'm just like, just get together already. Just get together, cut through the bullshit, just get there. Just get your communication better and just get to the good part of being together. And yet I'll write and read things that I have to have grit and make it worth it. I don't know. I guess television's different. I just want to see people get the happy ending if I can see it. I'm sort of like that with stories too. I'm like, oh, I really want them to get the happy ending. I want to get them. I want to see them get there. Then I have to wait chapter by chapter. It's like episode by episode. That's torture. It's hell, but I'm good with it. It's gonna be torture to watch and be like, it's obvious you like each other. Just get through it. Just get together already. But I guess that's half the fun of watching this stuff. Just skip to the end. I would, but then I'd miss the whole build-up. I like the build-up is also part of my problem. I'm like, oh, they're together? Great. Why are they together? It's the middle part. Well, luckily there are 2 seasons. It's only 24 episodes for total for both seasons, so I should be able to get through. Phrasing. Yes, thank you, millennial math. Man, should I do my My Hero Academia? I mean, you can if you want to. I'm pretty sure Deku's just gonna be the glass cannon. Like he is normally. Big powerhouse. Can't take a hit for shit. At least that's how I see him. I don't know. Everybody can see him differently. I mean, he's a great character. I really cheer for the guy, but does he ever learn? I barely got through the first season, and he didn't learn. Just needed to learn it, like, not to do stupid shit. That's what I was telling you. Yeah, but then I'd get invested in the flashback, and why all this stuff led up to it, and then I'm like, well, I'll just watch the whole series anyway. Just why Japan? Because again, Japan gets the cool stuff because they'll make the cool stuff. We in America or wherever else you are just don't get it. I don't know, they probably just don't think it would resonate well with Western audiences. No, actually, Christmas steak. I could see that too. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not, like, familiar with it, but I could understand why. I'm surprised they didn't make Bakugo the tank. That meathead just rushes in head first, not thinking, bombs ablaze. Deku okay, I can see that one too. Not as a healer, though. That would be the little, old lady. I liked her. Pretty sure she got tired of seeing Deku after the first week of him being at the school. But she was so sweet. I liked her character. They should have done more with her character. Bakugo the Barbarian. Okay. Yes. I agree. I think Todoroki might be a wizard or a sorcerer. Definitely kind of magic since he's elemental. But, again, a lot of them are. So, I could be wrong. Todoroki the Mage. Okay, that works too. Denkai the Sorcerer. Okay. Okay. And then little grape dude is just cannon fodder. Serves his purpose in that and in D&D and the anime. I don't know, you might get an arc later on. I'm not really going to keep up with it. I like My Hero. I like the concept of My Hero. I don't like the fandom. It's actually why I didn't get involved with Attack on Titan right away is the fandom. Just kind of... Ida the Fighter. Yeah, I could see that. I could also see him being a paladin. Like, just with this righteous behavior. This is a were-dragon. I don't like that. I like that. I actually like that a lot. Oh, God. Don't get me started. I can't start writing that. I'll never get anything finished. Denkai's quirk is electrocution. So yeah, I know you're not wrong. Not wrong at all. But again, I'm not gonna go near My Hero right now because I'm not a fan of the fandom, which is pretty normal for everybody. Like big name shonens or any big group seems to have problems with the fandoms initially. Like Attack on Titan was really toxic. I didn't get involved for that reason. I didn't get involved too much later. Same with Yuri on Ice. Could not get into it because of the fandom. Hetalia, I didn't realize had a toxic fandom. I just thought it was a quirky little show about the anthropomorphized countries. So I just thought it was funny. I've never been into Black Butler, and that had nothing to do with the fandom. That was just personal preference. Supernatural for a while because of the fandom. Not into Sherlock. Not even from the fandom. Just didn't like it. Doctor Who, again. I've seen some episodes. I'm like, it's really cool. But they jump around too much. Rewatching Attack on Titan, I noticed some voices that sounded familiar in side characters, and for some reason I couldn't place Teenage Aaron's voice, but I looked at the voice actor, so that's it. What about Bakugo's The King of Dragon in My Hero Fantasy Tale? No, I could agree with that. Maybe not the king. I feel like he's too high, like too irrational to be a leader. That's his problem. I Yuri on Ice. Yes. You're Yuri and Yuri on Ice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a lot of familiar characters. Like, a lot of familiar voices. It's really cool, actually. They just sit there and listen. Like, there's this one anime I love. It's like my comfort anime. It's Natsume Yujincho. It translates to Natsume's Book of Friends. Natsume, wonderful character, very soft-spoken, very kind, very gentle person, is played in Japanese, is played by Levi. He and Levi share the same voice actor, and now I can't unhear it, and now every time I listen to either voice, all I see is the other character, and I'm like, this is phenomenal, this is amazing. I knew I recognized the voice, but why? to hear like rough, gruff Levi say such nice, sweet, gentle things, and then to hear such nice, sweet, gentle things coming from the same voice that plays Levi, I was like, that is so messed up. That is just so not what I thought. And then to hear him sing, because if you haven't watched Attack on Titan Junior High, there's a scene with some singing from Levi. Not gonna go into detail, but he does sing. They made a whole song. There's like a whole song of that on YouTube. I downloaded it. It's phenomenal. He's a great singer. I swear. And that's a normal thing for a lot of these voice actors to be singers too. So I'm just like, these voice actors are amazing. They can do multiple characters. They can, excuse me, they can sing. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the voice actors in the U.S. are only voice actors, and not all of them can sing very well. But I mean, like, even in Naruto, they show like 3 main guys in Naruto singing singing Fighting Dreamers. Like, I can't wrap my head around how talented these people are. It's just so amazing. And again, not ragging on American voice actors. I just noticed it's a very or at least in the few I've watched for anime, it's very common for the voice actors to sing in their own series, or at least something related to the series. And it's really cool. Like, they openly use their other talents so much. It's really phenomenal to see. And it's a great appreciation for them. And that's all it is. And like I said, I don't know about American voice actors. They might do the same thing. I just have not seen that from the ones I have. I've seen the range of some of them, and you're like, whoa. Like Bender from Futurama is in so many different shows and genres and video games, and you're just like, how do you have the time, dude? I know. To both of those, it's like, mind blown. The couple from 104th Female is Namina Amazona from... Yes, and then the voice of Aaron is in Blue X. That one also blew my mind, because again, I'm sorry, that it's just so with where some of these people like where you find some of these voices, and you're just sitting there like, I know that voice, I know that voice, I know that voice, I know that voice. Even in Japanese, you're just like, I know it. Why do I know it? Then you look it up, and you have to. These people are in so much. You have to scroll to find it, and then you have to make sure you're in the right version, because sometimes it's just a video game. I asked my sister how the hell the voice acting not when they have to yell a name. That one. So apparently what they do is they don't actually scream it. They project really loudly. Like, they go deep from the back of their throat to project. They don't come from the front, if it makes sense. They're not like actually screaming. They're coming from the back, projecting loudly, and that's what it sounds like. I don't know about Aaron, though, because he shouts a lot, so that might be person's own preference. But from what I remember from this documentary, I watched like several times because I wanted to be a voice actor for a while. I don't think I have the talent for it. I barely have the talent to be a YouTuber. But when I was watching this documentary, it's called I Know That Voice. If it's still on Netflix, everybody should watch it. It's really cool and really informative, and you realize how many of these people you actually know and what they're from. Like, I didn't know Mark Hamill did so many different voices. I personally thought that after Star Wars, he faded into obscurity. Then I found out he was the freaking Joker, and he was the Master of Masters, and I mean, he's so many different people, and he's from like so many different things in or at least in my childhood, and I'm almost like, I may have underestimated him and his talent. And then I realized, no, it was Harrison Ford that didn't have much of a career after. He may have made, the indie movies, but I don't know. Something about Mark Hamill being Joker for 20 plus years just has more staying power, I guess. Indiana Jones. Good movie, good, whatever, but that last movie kind of ruined it. Especially when Fallout called him out on that whole surviving a nuclear blast in a fridge thing. That was funny. And if you haven't seen that Easter egg, look it up on YouTube. They literally find someone with Indiana Jones's hat and whip is a skeleton underneath a fridge. It's really cool. And the voice of CL from Black Butler. I think his name's Mineta or something like that. But yeah, that's a little weird. And there's, like, CL plays somebody else that we all know, too. But they're all, it's like, everybody makes fun of Funimation because it seems like they just trade voice actors back and forth between series as they need them. But I think the same is in Japan. The same is true in Japan. So many people have become voice actors that, they just kind of stay in the same pool. They just switch them out as they need them and just rotate them. They're like, oh, we need a screaming character. This guy played Aaron. Oh, we need a calm character. This guy played Levi. Oh, we need a devious character. This guy plays Sebastian in Black Butler. I feel like that's how it is. They just go by type and they just throw someone in there. Side question, is it just me or does Erin's hairband look like Annie's? I mean, to a point. But I don't think that was intentional since Erin doesn't really have a lot to do with Annie, as far as I can tell. I would say, though, that there's a very odd resemblance between Annie and Erin's family. Or at least his half-brother's family. I'm not saying that there's a legit connection, but it feels like it. I feel like Annie was supposed to be related to the royal family somehow, like Historia and Zeke were, and that's why she was able to bring all those Titans to her. They never explained why. They never said how. But, I mean, she controlled them just like Zeke did. So I'm thinking maybe a cousin. And I think he just kind of forgot about that. Erin is Kirito from Sora. I knew another one. Yeah. And hi, Sky. Welcome back. Hope the babies are okay. But yes, Erin is Kirito. Kirito is a really cool character. I didn't mind his Japanese version or English version, because English he's also Erin, I believe, or I think it is. Yeah, I think Erin. I think so. I know truly that in English, Kirito, Erin, and Meliodas all share the same voice actor. For Japanese, I do not know. And I know they share it with Rin too. But I know Erin's Japanese voice actor shares a lot of people too. And I think it might be the same. I think they just might, stack them. But, so like one of the funniest things I've ever seen for voice actors is Jennifer Hale as Ash from Overwatch talking to the gunslinger. Can't remember his name. But he's played by Matt Mercer. He also plays Levi. So I'm just like, I made a comment. I'm like, all I see is Commander Shepard having a conversation with Captain Levi. That's it. Which is pretty much summing it up. Now, how does everybody feel? Should we just kind of end here, or should we keep going for a little bit? How's everybody feeling right now? Be honest. If you need to end, if you guys need to go, it's fine. Dusty. I just got thrown a charger. My baby's fine. She's just mad. No, she's not hurt or anything, so she's fine. That's how she is now. She's throwing a temper tantrum. She's almost 2. It happens. Time Marla is a kidnapper, so oh. Really? Okay. Good to know. I'm good, but up to you. Okay. That's what I'm asking everybody, because I know everybody has different sleep schedules, time zones, all that good stuff. I might need to end just to take care of the baby, because something's going well. I'm at a hotel with my friend and family. My friends went to the basement. We saw what? Rocking chair? Cool. The Terrible Twos, for sure. They start right after they turn 1. Oh, in Japan. Yeah, I knew that one. Doesn't surprise me, and that's probably why it sounds so weird to hear a male voice come out of Armin in the English version. I know that Naruto and Goku are all played by women too, which is pretty funny. Or at least in Japanese. In English, I think they're male. I think. But I think I might just end it here. It seems like a good stopping point. So I'll go ahead and thank you all again for joining at our weekly hangout, the weekly hangout of randomness, as it has now been dubbed. Again, I will post the new P.O. box in Discord. If you don't already have, follow the Discord. I have so much fun arming. Got there another Titan. I should have think what description that. Yep. That's an arm that went in and arm went out, and it was Armin and Aaron's arm. But anyway, I will post the new P.O. box in Discord if you don't already follow the Discord. Wolf, if you want a link, drop the link, you can. I'll drop it later. It'll also be posted at least once a week for an hour on YouTube, because I just don't want it out there too much. But feel free to send fan mail, fan art, whatever you guys can think of. As long as it's legal, I'll accept it. But thank you so much. Have a great night. Glad to see you all again, and we will see each other next week about the same time. If that changes, I will let you know. But thank you so much for joining. Oh no, I do know. Please not. Sorry. Bye. Have a great week. You as well. Thank you again. Hope to see you in Discord or in chat or whatever. Thank you again. Bye, my little Titans.